Lamentablemente, las condiciones que estamos viviendo han llegado a ser una miseria insoportable para la gente. Pero hay unos vendepatrias ingreídos que todavía creen en una sociedad de antes, donde los artistas fuimos bestia de trabajo para la industria. Ese sueño se ha acabado y ahora nos encontramos despiertos en la hora de revolución, porque no podemos llamar esto un movimiento si toda la propiedad intelectual pertenece a los que nos oprimen. Nos compraron el alma barata, hasta la sangre nos sacan, atacan y con un contrato te atrapan. Pero primero me matan, hermano, porque prefiero morir peleando que ser esclavo. Industria sucia, toma lluvia de ácido, aprende la historia de hip hop clásico.
See it from the north or south. We got to work on those alternatives. We got to work on things that inspire. Remember, cultura cura. How do you know where you're going unless you know where you come from? ¿Cómo sabes dónde vas si no sabes de dónde vienes? We have to continue trying to struggle for that. La gallina con el cara, 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 cara. Los polluelos. Los pueblos colores me gustan a mí y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. ¡Ay! Can I shake somebody's hand up in here? Hey, 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 hey. Hip hop is the mistress, I'm still the man. Oh, Jesus, what I say, I follow you. Come and shake the hand of your truth. Number one you go all the way down that street, you'll run into a garbage dump and an incinerator. It's called Covanta. They burn plastics and other chemicals that emit dioxin. Now, I know a lot of people from the Vietnam era will recognize the name Agent Orange. So the most deadly chemical in Agent Orange was dioxin. So that's what they're emitting right here, right down the street. You don't need to go to all. They wanted to get a private company to see what areas they should try to place these polluting sites at. And the Saru report suggests that companies target small rural communities whose residents are low income, older people, or people with a high school education or less. Communities with a high proportion of Catholic residents, and communities whose residents are engaged in resource extractive industries such as agriculture, mining, and forestry. This is what waste management, this is what they consider when they want to cite a polluting source.
Are the ones that have been showing us the way.
That's right.
They have showed us the example. They just let us come up here and continue to carry the message. So I want to say my blessings and my respect to all the women that are involved, all the women that have died. You know, there's a lot of women that have died in this movement. There's a lot of women that are incarcerated. Chowchilla, right down the street, has 10,000 women incarcerated. If you go to the visiting room in the men's prison, it is packed. If you go today to Chowchilla, you got 1 or 2 women in the visit. But we have to take a piece of Aztlán. We have to take little pieces because those bridges are getting longer and longer and longer to reach. So in Santa Cruz, what we did is we acquired this little piece of Aztlán, 5 acres. And I want to say this, they took a lot, it took over 30 years to get this, but it's yours. It's not Barrios Unidos, it's yours. And you should use this place to heal yourself, to remove yourself from the streets wherever you're at, to go up to the redwoods and pray with the redwoods. We got sweat lodges, there's teepees there, there's cabins, there's tree houses.
Breakthrough, buried in the underground, barely known in other towns. When I rap, heads will turn. I need you to spread the word to the end of earth. I put my friends to work, can't reach every corner, can't cross every border, so I stay steady mobbing. Carry heavy objects, MP3s ain't bulky. I got a backpack of nothing but some oldies. I'm coming up at full speed, bitter like cool keys. I've been doing yard work, still I got a pool weeds. No sign of cool breeze, I think I got a redneck. No need for bed rest, and I don't think I'm dead yet. I'm a toadstool, so I'm cooking up some soul food while I'm trying to figure out my next bold move. In this oversaturated game, I don't want to be the old news. A one-hit wonder just won't do.
My son, Ernest Duenas, was killed by Sergeant Aguilar of the Manteca Police Department just 3 months ago on June 8th. Since then, he's in the backseat of a truck and he tries to get out. And when he's getting out, he has nothing on him. He has no weapons. We have witnesses that show he came out empty-handed. His foot was entangled in the seat belt of the truck. Well, when he got out, by then, several police officers were there, and he raised his hands up. No weapons. Witnesses are still saying no weapons, and the police opened fire on him. I'm going to talk about what's going on in Manteca and other cases. If you look at our board, you'll see everyone there has been killed by a police officer at one point or another. Many of them were told, the media was told they were armed. Yet, a lot of them, there is no guns, nothing produced. Show us they shot my son and he was nobody. Well, you know what? They lit a fire within our family. And this fire is going to keep going and going and going until we get justice. We will not let Manteca sweep us under the rug. I am new at this. Well, our family is new at this. I haven't been part of organizations, and now I realize how important you all are. And I want to be a part of coming out. Anytime I'm invited or if there's a function, I will come out.
We just did a 3.5-month occupation at Glen Coves, also known as Segurate in Vallejo, and we had a real good opportunity and the blessing and the honor to take part. The Black Berets took part in this occupation of the land. We had about 4 members that stayed there on the land the whole time, but we also had other members that came and showed support, and a lot of them are here. So these guys are really, hardcore guys that were out there struggling in this movement, fighting. Every day it was a challenge, wondering if, the cops were going to come in and arrest us. Also, we have a new event that's coming up in Santa Cruz, the Knoll. We have KB Homes, which is actually trying to build homes on top of our burial site in Santa Cruz. And again, this is another Ohlone territorial burial ground. So these are some of the things that the Black Berets are involved in. And myself as an Ohlone, my father was one of the founding members of the Black... to reservations, casinos aren't bringing the people mad revenues. They just bringing rude dudes with attitudes who already seasoned and breaking the rules. Now whatever was done is done, even if it was purposely. Cause I know who I am without any uncertainty. I guess I was just born with an opinion. Mama got heartburn from a man who called us Indian. Ask me again if I think I could change, and I tell you that I'd rather stay indigenous, man.
We got a sheriff here, Adam Christensen in Stanislaus County. Yeah, that's what I say, boo's right. And, he has a plan, and he's already talked to the federal government about building an immigrant detention center right down at the end of the street, Crosland Road, right here in the Barrio, all right? Now, he's already got permission from the state to what they call double. Now, this is the thing. What do you think is going to happen when there are empty bunks there?
They're going to fill them up.
They're going to send their police out into the community, into the barrio, and they're going to fill those bunks up with our brothers and sisters. They're going to do some stops. Oh yeah, I just stopped you because your tail light's out. Oh, by the way, let me see your papers, are you here legally? And they're going to keep that place filled up with all people that live in this neighborhood. Now, I haven't heard anybody in this whole county saying anything about this. Not one person. So we need to pass the word around. Because I don't know about you, but I ain't going for that. Hell no. That ain't happening. We know what our common enemy has done to all of us historically. Yet we continue to fight each other over a color, a neighborhood. You speak Spanish, I don't speak Spanish. You're from Mexico, I'm from aquí de Modesto. You know, it's nonsense. It's nonsense.
I can't get over the way we treat each other. We all forget God paints with different colors. But I know what you've been told. And it's... I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just so frustrated. But I know what you've been told. And it's so superficial. Let it go. Let it go.
A couple blocks away from where we are right now, the 7th Street Flea Market, in July, we got a call from a vendor that was over there. She was running a booth. She said today the FBI showed up and they did a raid on the flea market. This is the one on 7th Street, not the one down here on Crow's Landing. The FBI came and they arrested people for having supposedly counterfeit DVDs and CDs. And they grabbed a couple dozen people as well, and they threw them onto buses, and they were awaiting deportation. Sorry. So isn't it interesting, at the same time that they're doing these raids, as John Mataka talked about, they're talking about building a detention facility down the street. And they're also talking about housing people in the jail downtown. They're going to sell that jail space to the federal government.
It is our job to get at our kids. You can't rely on nobody to talk to your nephew. Talk to your nephew. Talk to your sons. We understand why it's not happening. They try to, what their whole system does is to try to blame the victims of oppression. They said, look, the average American home, the average American father spends 5 minutes with their children at night. 5 minutes. That's not even dinner time. 5 minutes. And then you want to know why our youth are alienated? Why we have failed to bond with them? We have work to do, my brothers and sisters. It's very basic.
This is about living in an area that can do better than what it's doing. They can progress. They can come up from down here and be up here with an education, raising the kids right, going to school, going to college, getting the career that the kid wants to get, doing something good for the community. Yeah. This track is called Atascados. Yo. En los 50 estados, aquí nos quedamos atascados. Atrasados por decisión de uno. Yo. Hay una área muy misteriosa. No lleves a tus hijos o a tu esposa. Salen cosas muy raras, muy oscuro. A lo mejor hay fantasmas. Se llama el área 209. Se ha escuchado que mucha gente se mueve.
The homeboys that are killing each other in the barrios because it is about unity. They kill each other a lot. You know what? You don't have to school them. They know what they're doing. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing is wrong. They're doing it for a reason, whether it's to their barrio or to tradition or it's to whatever. Well, it is all those things. It's about money. It's about tradition. It's about holding up your own in your barrios. I know because I'm a product of that myself. They know that. So instead of telling them, stop doing what you're doing, try a different approach and say, we need your help. The homeboys and the norteños and sureños, they have to remember, if they don't want to stop the fighting because of themselves, they should stop the fighting, and we have to impress about that for their families, because their families are suffering more than they are. They're suffering more than they are, and the children are suffering more than they are, and we need your body and your strength and your organizing ability, because when the media comes down, they say all the kids are scared. All the kids are scared. What are you doing with my father and mother? We're locking them away because they're bad people, because they want to work.
I teach seniors. Somebody said it earlier. These youth are coming back with some crazy things on their mind when they go to Iraq. Just last week, I had a student come back, said twice he tried to commit suicide since he returned. As a high school teacher, I never tell my students to go to the military. That's the last place I want them to go. And we got to keep that up. Don't ever send your children off to die for this country. Ever. Ever. The other thing is, if we're going to send them off to college, let's do something about it. Because what the hell is a degree if you got a PhD and all it means is pendejo has a degree? If you don't go back to the hoods, to the neighborhoods, and educate the youth that are left behind, that degree does not belong to me, to you, or anything. It belongs to the people who died for us to even go there. It's you and I standing in front of these kids. We are their teachers. We are all maestros and maestras. And if we don't do the right thing, they won't do the right thing. And we should never be surprised when that happens. Así que, mi chica Tiawi, que viva la raza, y adelante toda mi gente. Let's keep this going.
It's like, because California is #1 in prison spending, number 48 in education. This one's called the indoctrination and miseducation. And indoctrination, they want to poison our minds. That word has a lot of meanings. It's the indoctrination of miseducation. Rising gas prices, economic inflation. The indoctrination of miseducation. To my peoples in the streets, I can feel your frustration. The indoctrination and miseducation. Rising gas prices, economic inflation. The indoctrination of miseducation. To my peoples in the streets, I can feel your frustration. That's why they want to lock the youth down on probation. California #1 in prisons, 48 in education.
By then, I was the most troubled kid I knew myself. In and out of juvenile hall, dealing PCP, in and out of different gangs, clubs, getting raped, beaten, stabbed. It's time we unite. Our kids need us. They didn't ask to be here, we brought them here. Thank you for hearing me today. Today I will remain following unity. Take care. Thank you.
And, you know, for example, my grandfather was killed by the police officer, Bakersfield Police Department. Some lady reported he had marijuana in his truck, but it was a truck full of garbanzos. Yeah, they came midnight, banged on the door. He had a bat. You know, who's not going to have a bat banging on your door? They don't ring your doorbell or anything. And they shot him 17 times. So, you know, myself, victim of a drive-by shooting. I got shot 5 times, and I'm just another, you know, Mexican. They're not going to investigate. Why? What for? So, you know, we got to keep an eye out, take care of each other, because, you know, who's going to do it? Not the government. So.
It's easy to assume that my only thought to do, cause I have a bald head and hang check in my room. Looks can be deceiving if you only dig deeper. You'll find out that my name isn't silently a creeper. No, I don't whistle, sometimes I wear flannel. I can serve to the networks, not just the Spanish channels. I like other things, not just beans and rice. Even though that does sound nice. Tapatio in my cabinet and tortillas in my fridge. Sábado gigante ever since I was a kid.
I start this off by saying this is not an anti-gang event. Because a lot of people, when I tell them about that this is about uniting Sureños and Norteños, or that it's about Sureños and Norteños, they automatically assume that I'm talking bad against that. But I'm not, because I come from that, you know what I'm saying? And I was raised in that. So the purpose of the event is to get the young Chicano's mind out of the gangbanger mentality and into a revolutionary state of mind. Aware of the struggle and conscious of the injustices that are being committed against our people. I myself grew up in gangs, all kinds of different gangs. I was a gang member and a full-blown drug addict by the time I turned 13. I ended up doing time first in the juvenile system, then on into the adult system. I've had many friends and family pass away due to gang and drugs. But the truth is, the system is more often than not set up that way. It's set up for us to fail. Anybody who has ever been on parole knows how hard it is to stay out. You know what I'm saying? It's not that easy for everybody. Everybody just gets out and everything's peachy after that. You know what I'm saying? It changed my life and all this other shit. It doesn't work out like that all the time, right? So my goal with this event is to possibly reach any Chicano who's tired of being oppressed, any Chicano who is down or smart enough to see that just because another Mexican might wear blue or might wear red, might be from the north or might be from the south, it doesn't make him your enemy. You know what I'm saying? And the real enemy is the vato who closes your cell at night. Yeah. The real enemy is the racist who is deporting our gente off our own land in Arizona right now. Yeah. The real enemy is the system. He hides behind a badge or even an American flag. If you agree with what I've said, then I've done my job. The next step is to get involved.
The American dream. I sleepwalk through a nightmare. Urban gorilla and a pair of vanilla night years. And my kitchen quite rare, like a villain with a knife that's willing to fight fair. Stop. Wait right there, or get your ass straight right there. Figure see, hey, that's my state right there. From the lake to the bay, we get cake right there. And the West is vivid. Progress through the stress, so respect is given. Then blow smoke from my section of breast to women. So they put one in my flesh like the great John Lennon. I never liked my school teachers. I always thought they were prejudiced. Had a youngster on the path to collecting dead presidents. We're in a crisis. Corporations rolling their dices, controlling us with media and electronic devices. Land of the free? Shit, why do I feel so priceless? Wasn't shit given to me, but the passion to write this. National fight to lead us straight back to the righteous, and now the leaders don't like this. Why? Cause shit is subject to change. They say that people in the leadership is one and the same. One and the same, huh? But whose people is that? They say my people don't know how to act. I say it's one God, one love, and we can keep it at that. Looking for peace like a piece of Iraq. And that shit on 9/11, what was the reason for that? I sit and wonder how they can fund rolling thunder, but still couldn't keep Louisiana from going under. I guess it's all a number, gang. And the first thing they think about is where do we gain? And the first place they profit is off of our pain. From the premature baby to the older lady going insane. My life like a needle in junkie pork that's going in vain. I feel like my life is going in vain. Thank you.
A copy of the injunction for Modesto. What the cops are doing, they're getting together in their little conferences and they're copying, because I read it, this is the exact same thing, almost word for word, they just changed the names around, that they're using in Chicans, that they're using in Oakland, in Fruitvale, in Sacramento, in San Diego. San Diego has 15 gang injunctions, I think Fresno has like 3, Oakland is like 1, 2, 3 after another, and right after that, what comes next? Gentrification. They target an area. For example, they target the Salvadorian community. In Los Angeles, they put down a gang injunction. And guess what? Once they got rid of all the raza, let's say it what it is. The biggest gangsters, the biggest, most violent people is the state itself. It's the people that are out there saying, bombing people. Violence also comes in the form of defunding schools. I was a teacher for 12 years. They're taking all the books out, overflowing classes, okay? Also, stripping us of healthcare, etc. These are all ways of violence. That's violence. They're making money. It's not about security. It's not about, fighting terrorism. Que casualidad que mañana in September 11th. What we say is we're living in a constant state of terrorism every day.
Every day.
Constant, never-ending September 11th with the violence that they have against our communities.
Right. We come out of that 500 years of raza resistance in our own land, and we understand one thing, that the divisions between barrios, the divisions between norte and sur, the divisions between one half of Mexico and the other half of Mexico were not put there by us, but they can be knocked the hell down. Unión del Barrio, some other people talk about capitalism. All right, and Unión del Barrio knows capitalism is our enemy. We can't be talking about how we can have a better capitalism or a new capitalism or something like that, or a capitalism that's nicer to us. Capitalism has been, and will be our enemy forever. Something else. That's why we're doing the Barrios.
October 14th, we're going to be gathering at Cesar Chavez Park in an anti-Columbus holiday to ban the holiday nationally and shun Columbus for everything that all the poisons that he brought, all the colonization that he brought to our people. So ya basta with Columbus Day. Mecha Alta Califas Norte is sponsoring this. The whole northern region of Mecha, we got together to say, you know, enough is enough. We're indigenous people, yet we're not recognized. We're recognized as immigrants in our own homeland. Are we immigrants?
No!
We are not immigrants. This is our homeland. I mean, Obama deported 1 million people under his
Tell what happens, now I'm up in the jailhouse. Can't get bailed out, American need life is hell for the Latin in the center with the essays. Sureños and the North kids, tripping the represents, but I'm from LA. They want to throw the key away, like they did to my primo. I'ma live free, which means I'ma live illegal. They want to deport my ass, like they did to my auntie. You should know, ain't no borders ever gonna stop me, want to kill me, like they did to my Theo. Riding kicking his ass in the street, high up they ego. They want me brain dead, like they did to my pop. Lost his mind and had a heart attack. Smoking crystal rocks and want me laying dead, like they did to my sister. Left alone out in the streets with the gangs and the pistols. I'ma miss her. But ain't no heaven no high. That's why I'm fighting to live, cause I know I'm gonna die in the war. It was rockets.
We're on the track saying something, something lingos. On the horns and percussion, you get MPC flips with it as the beat stays crushing. The naysayers stay hushing, cause if you speak on this, it's suicide like roulette with the Russian. You get red curtains, USSR, or bombs like the US. Does every other land and even Earth scarred, not on some red. Devil's own slaves, there's no way to barricade. Yellow tape borders, bars, walls, there's no way to barricade. Write a poem through the microphone inside a dome to think or heart to feel. Pump blood, crimson tone through your veins, it pumps too. You are me, I am you. They murder what's within our physical shell. Try to make us live in a literal hell under the darkness of a pitiful spell. This here spiritual trail guides the lyrical tale of individual prevail. It's really just the myth. People others speak power of skin that's fairer. I speak of dreams you want to see. Others speak night terrors. I speak of hope, revolution, resolution. Others speak complacency. They just don't care. I speak from my soul to your soul. Mind full of what's said. Won't sell out no matter who's collecting the toll. This is me in whole, not in part. You get all of me. My soul and heart and my art. From my fire's first spark until the flame burns out in the dark. In the dark. Hey, I think we found our niche. You don't get no better than this. I think we found our niche. You don't get no better. I think I'm from time my neck. Speaking which this is it. Now we all in the mix, and it don't get no better. Cause the no better makes it no better. Representing that first M26 letter, the poison of setter. So 6 obesity, feeling so unruly. With my fiduciary duty, John cousin Tuesday. But can I get living that live? We suffered like the freshest kids, straight out to be together. Nobody doing better. We got flow with investors showing like Paris. We capture blue ribbon, yeah, or roll winning. We master the track. We are the greyhounds of rap, yeah. Keeping things moving. And we ain't gonna stop anytime soon. So rains unexpected like a monsoon. Showing through, we covering ground like. Just check the sound. Keep in mind, convenience in the city, y'all know the deal. Put back on my reservation, it's been the ordeal. Red light, blue light, keep still. Checking for ID, you get the ideal. Who your family be, where your papers at. Do it sound like a chopping screw track. Fans on my back taking photos. Border Patrol, Eagle Gestapo, they had to get ya. I'm just minding my biz. Officer, check attack, play back. It's war, click clap. Where your papers at? We under attack, fight back. Fuck man, I don't know what's worse. Lingos, constructing another green zone. Or Republican Latinos. The persecution is threefold. We broke. Brown is a pigment. And they assume that we speak I know English. We all heathens in the eyes of the state. Yeah, they're raising the stakes, locking it down from TJ. All the way to Matamoros. Up to Brownsville, back to San Diego. Lays low. I said they ain't that. Fire starter. Call the F man. Pull your feet to the cold. What I'm good at. One thing about me, my BBC will always be different. Time the power shifted. The weight's on my shoulders, but I lift it from the bottom to the tip. We stay equipped to the T. Always be